Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to discuss how to construct pie graphs in Google Sheets. You'll remember from a few previous examples that we had some eye color data collected. We've already organized that eye color data into a categorical frequency distribution. So we have sorted eye color data by class or category. We've counted the number of individuals with that eye color and put that in the frequency column. And then we calculated the percent. You can see here that I've actually used a formula in that cell to calculate the percent. We know percent is the class frequency, so that number in cell D3 divided by the total frequency, which we know is 15, and then that's been multiplied by 100. You can see that I use that formula all the way down with the class frequency shifting for each percent cell. We need that information for a categorical frequency distribution, and we would need that information if we were drawing a pie chart by hand. But because we're making these pie graphs in a computer, we actually don't need that percent column. Google Sheets, Excel, a lot of other programs, including GeoGebra, that construct pie graphs, only need the categories or classes and their associated frequencies. So those are the only cells I'm going to highlight. So I started with blue and I click and drag until all the classes and their frequencies are highlighted. We go insert chart, and Google makes its best guess. In this case, it created a bar chart or a bar graph, which is not what we want here. So we're going to go to chart type in the chart editor, and we're going to scroll down until we see pie. You'll see multiple options. There's the traditional pie chart, which is what we're using in this class. But you'll also notice that there's a donut chart and a 3D pie chart. We prefer the 2D pie chart. The less noise that you have going on in your chart, the easier it is to read. And ultimately, we want our chart to be readable. If people can't read it, we're not going to be able to convey our message or convey information with it. So I prefer 2D charts. Typically, you'll also see the colors a little bit better coordinated. These clash, and that can sometimes be difficult to read. You will often see the colors in a pie chart chosen so that they are all shades of the same color. So you might see starting with a darker red and then progressively working around clockwise with lighter shades of red. We can do that with blue, with green, with any other color you choose to use. All of that, however, is aesthetics. What we need are labels for the wedges and labels for the chart. And you can see that Google Sheets and Excel and also does this, labels each wedge by the category or class label and calculates that percentage for us. And you will notice that that percentage matches the percentage that we calculated for our categorical frequency distribution, which is good. Those should match. The last thing that we need is we need to give this chart a table. So going back to the chart editor, we're going to click Customize, and then we're going down to Chart and Axis Title. And it defaults to chart title. That's the very first. You'll notice that pie charts don't have horizontal vertical axis titles available because there are no axes here. And we're going to give our chart title, maybe if I can type if we had more data, we would write that in our chart table. Chart title, wow. Sorry, I'm tongue-tied today. For example, if I knew this eye color data came from a specific class, I might want to include that in my chart title. So if I knew this eye color was specifically from a random sample at Shasta College, I might write this as eye color for students at Shasta College and then include a sample size with that, n equals 15. All right, again, I would encourage you to play with that chart edit menu um, to tweak how this chart appears, but that is how we get pie graphs in Google Sheets. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in our next video.